we're gonna throw it right over to Marlon. Yes, Don, please.
What's up, y'all? my eye looked a little lazy. Hold on.
Open that shit up there. Open it up. What you doing? Open it up.
Let's not use that part. Oh my God, he's definitely gonna use that part.
We used it.
Probably at the beginning.
Probably in the beginning.
CULTURE 101. CULT.
What it is, what's happening? Welcome back. Welcome Black, and welcome to the Culture 101 podcast, where we push the culture forward and have a damn good time doing it. I am Trist. I'm one of your co-hosts, 1/3 of the collective, and I am posted up in Harlem, USA, New York. Yeah. Did it feel right?
All right.
Okay. All right. Oh, it must be sounding better. It must be sounding better.
Gang.
I mean, I wouldn't say a gang per se. I just want to be part of the New York clan, if you will. You know, I want to feel like a New Yorker. Yeah, you know.
What jersey do you have on? You giving a Mighty Ducks from?
It is Mighty Ducks. As a matter of fact. Bombay jersey. It's a Bombay.
Okay.
I'm out here coaching these hoes. That's how it is.
Anywho,
okay. Hey, I'm Sean. I'm embarrassed, and I'm in Maryland.
What's going on over there in Maryland? Can I ask? Was it like dreary as fuck over there today too? Because like here, like I don't even know if I ever saw the
sun. It looked like it's dark over there, Tristan.
It was kind of nice out today and yesterday. Yesterday the weather was really nice, like short sleeve shirt weather. So I had some friends come from out of town. My best friend Taya and her cousins all came to town.
Hey Taya, cousins.
Shout out to Taya.
And yes, we had such a good time. We went out.
What kind of dog is it?
You said what kind of dog?
Yeah, what kind of dog? A big dog, small dog, cute dog, ugly dog? What kind of dog?
What you talking about?
You said she bought a dog.
No, she said her cousins.
Oh, you said she bought a dog. I heard you said she bought a dog.
No, she came with her cousins.
I said she brought her cousins.
Shout out to her. My bad. I thought she said she bought a dog. I was like, oh, okay, what kind of dog was it?
No, she brought her cousins. We had a good time. We went out Saturday. We went out Sunday. You know, I'll be going out like that. So that was a lot of going out, but it was such a good time. And I'm so happy that they
was in them streets.
In them streets, y'all. But yes.
That's a good time. We like it.
Leslie,
what's going on over there in Texas?
I didn't do too much. I got to catch up on rest and catch up on some work that I needed to do. I did go to one of the Afrotech networking events, which was really cool. Shout out to Afrotech, and shout out specifically to Red Hat and Kim Wong for hooking me up with that. I actually won an Apple Watch at that event and got to network.
Hey, Apple Watch.
Yeah. So I had a good time with that. And, and then Sunday I did some much needed deep. Shout out to God. Shout out to my Sunday.
Won't you do it?
He the one.
That's fine.
So yeah, I did some much needed deep cleaning and packing because I'm going out of town next weekend and some laundry. So I just got a lot done yesterday. So yeah, I had a pretty good weekend.
Look at you adulting.
I know. You know, sometimes because I was like last week was a little bit of a rough week for me, like mentally. And so, you know, when like you're not in the best mental space and your like space reflects that. So you just need to like clean everything up, deep clean, like get rid of stuff and just
like a whole cleanse.
Yeah, and it really just makes you feel better because like I woke up today like, oh my gosh, it's just a new day, a new week. So let's go. So it's like it really does help.
You took ayahuasca. That's what this is. So you took ayahuasca.
But I'm open to it.
Okay. You want anything first, guys?
I am too, Leslie.
She said I'm open to it. You know what? Fuck it. If we're gonna all do it, I'll do it too. Why not? Let's go.
You need a document.
That was easy to convince you, Tristan. You went from
it took no effort.
Well, in my defense, I read Will Smith doing it, so I would do it. So that's real.
All celebrities be doing it though, but they have like the real shaman that like leads them in it.
What's a real shaman? What does that even mean? What is he went to a class?
Somebody that you paid a lot of money.
Like, what are we talking about? But no, I enjoyed this weekend. This is a good time. Like I was out. I was in the streets.
Oh.
I did some streets. I did some streeting. I was out.
You did some streeting?
Oh, I did some streeting.
You sound old as shit.
It felt that way. So no, like it was really like night and day from like my club experience from when I was like 19 to like now.
Are you in the club?
It was.
Not
I'm
Uncle
getting.
Tristan in the club.
Wow. I'm getting there. Anyway, so it was a friend of mine, like my brother was like Justin Stevens. You know him. He was like my roommate
Shout out to
from
Justin.
right, shout out to him. Had his birthday. He and his cousin, 6 days apart, had their birthday. Boom, they rented a table at this club called the DL. It was on Delancey Street. That's why it was called the DL. It's on the
Shout out to
Delancey
the
Street.
DL.
Right. That name was fucking with me too.
Whoever identifies as such, shout out to you.
Because Justin told me, he said we meet at the DL. Excuse me, where? Where we meeting? I'm sorry, where are we meeting, sir?
That's such a bad name choice.
And he was definitely like,
I would have called it the Delancey. We're meeting at the Delancey.
it's called the DL. That's literally the name on the flyers and everything else. And they actively promote this. Oh yeah, you coming to the DL? Yeah, it's gonna be nice at the DL.
They knew what they were doing.
They're changing the stigma around DL.
Like if DL Hughley would have owned it or something, that'd be fine. They could just partner, but it's not important. Anyway, so we go in there. It's a beautiful space. It's on the 4th floor. Now we got there early because we were like, fine, we'll get there early.
Wait, what's early? Like 9?
No, it was a darty. So it started. It started a darty. I know you do. Oh, I know. And it started at 4, so we got there around like maybe closer to like 5, a little after 5. Okay. And so like, of course, they didn't get there till like almost 6, but we took time on the patio. And we took a toast. So we were chilling. We were definitely in the cut, like on the patio. But just the juxtaposition of then and now. Like back then, like I didn't leave the house till 11. Like it was 11, you get to the club at midnight, and then we're getting in there to parties. Like the hypest it could be. The walls are sweating, people drunk, everything. We get there, motherfuckers is playing games. People are drinking water. Like you got Jenga, you got fucking Foursquare, large. I love that. Four Connect, and then. Like it's a darty, and the music is decent. The bartenders aren't like get a drink or go. They're like, "Hey, how are you?" Like, it's okay if you don't. I'm like, "Wow,
like a club soda."
Yeah, I did. Someone did offer me a club soda. You're absolutely right. It was Afrobeats party, so that was cool.
Okay.
But I found myself noticing the architecture. I was like, "This is beautiful wood here." I don't know who did this. This is fantastic. I was like, "Wow, they must use a contractor I've seen before." Like I just found myself really like having a different club experience. Like, I felt older. Like there was a gentleman smoking a cigar, and I almost asked him where he got it from. It was ridiculous. So but shout out to him. We had a good time. He made 33 this year. He's on his Pippin year, so shout out to he and his cousin Gabe. It was a good time. And then the next day, I was running all over New York because I went to the marathon. So it was the New York Marathon.
You ran in it?
No, I was not.
You said you was running all over New York, so I'm like, oh, you ran?
We were following 2 people. So my favorite partner, her mother and her sister were running the marathon, right? Okay. Now, this was her mother's 5th one. So, right, like in a row.
Put me to shame.
Except for the COVID year. Like she's been running in a row, back to back to back. Like it's fucking crazy.
Shout out to Mom.
And this was her sister's first one, her younger sister.
How many miles
they did a really good job.
26?
Who's 26?
No, I said how many miles? Like 26 or something?
26.2 miles. Yeah. They started in like the second heat or whatever, like at 11, but they made good time. Like, and apparently her mother shaved off like 21 minutes off her PR.
Yeah. Good for
like,
mama.
You know what I'm saying? So they did was exceptional, but like we were trying to go all over and catch them. We saw them in the Bronx, tried to catch them in like Harlem and missed them. And then we like caught them all the way down like at the end, like as they were finishing up. So it was nice. There was a party. New York's alive with energy. Everybody respects the runners. So, it was a good time. So yeah, shout out to New York City Marathon. Like, and now that I've seen it twice, like maybe I might
run.
I'm thinking I might. I don't know. I'm not doing it in New York.
26 miles in 26 days, to be honest with you.
That's what I was like. I was doing the calculation.
Oh shit, we could do a challenge here right now. We could all run a mile a day. We can keep track. Like it's fine. We could do it.
I could do
1 mile a day.
That'd be my cardio in the gym.
What? It's just 1 mile.
Treadmill.
One mile a day. So I was like, hell no. I don't even know why you suggested such a thing.
Yeah,
walk it too. If you like go to the gym, put it on the incline and walk it. That's
you gotta run the mile. You gotta run the mile because it's just a mile.
Walking is actually more effective than running.
You just want to do it in under 12 minutes. Honestly, that's
I heard that too much running make you lose your butt, and I'm not trying to do that.
Okay, but you do know that like if you're toning up while you're doing it and you're doing those butt exercises,
but she's not. That's what she's saying.
But she'll do that. But you will, and your butt gonna be like it's gonna be like like a model butt. Like right now you thanging, but it's gonna maximum. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's gonna go from thanging to thuh. So unless you wait
You know what I'm saying? Like you're thanging right now, and that's beautiful. We love it. That's great, fantastic. You know, it's great. But I'm just saying, you could walk out here, talk about in a thong bikini, talking about I'm gonna shut the beach down. That's what I'm talking about. Like you could do
But
that.
just some running and some
And some butt exercises.
But
Yes.
it's not just running. Don't let him lie to you, girl.
Right.
Yeah, you're gonna do some jumps. You're gonna do some jumps, and there's gonna be some high knees and some stuff and some plyometrics. But it's gonna be like.
I got tired thinking about it. I might do a challenge because I did the push-up challenge and I did pretty good. When we was doing 100,
shit.
we did
Really
like 2,700 push-ups in a month. Like it was really good.
No, you almost got to 3,000, which was crazy. That was impressive.
That is good.
And you started late too. You started at day 10.
My arms were so
and then you did this all in like 20 days. That was very impressive.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I could definitely see that. I mean, because I need to get back into the running just because I feel like it would help with cardio. Because I find myself more winded now, and I don't like it. Like I might be, outside like running up and down for like 10 minutes, and you're like, why am I so tired? Like I should at least be able to run for 20 minutes. Just like simple shit you feel.
Yeah.
But do you know what I'm not tired of? I am not tired of getting this news that the streets need. And there's only one person that can give us the news that the streets need. Because you know what? It's time for the Bulletin Board! Yeah. Hey, what?
Because I be in them streets. Okay, so quick little shout out to the Texas Rangers. I actually called this one Riot, One Ranger, because apparently that's their slogan. I did not know that. Looked it up.
Yeah, it is. It's fine.
Never heard that.
It's why it took them so long to win.
Oh, shots fired.
Damn.
All right, so Tristan got it correct for the first time in franchise history. The MLB's oldest team without a World Series title are finally champions. So shout out to the Texas Rangers. Apparently they did it the hard way. They actually entered the postseason as the 5th of 6 American League seeds.
No one expected them to win. No one, not a damn. Like, I wouldn't bet on them if you had given me the money to do it. I wouldn't have done it.
But then they went an unprecedented 11-0 on the road. So they showed y'all why they deserve to be there.
Okay.
So shout out to them. They beat the Arizona Diamondbacks in Game 5. It was a 5-0 series.
That was another team that shouldn't even been in the World Series in the fucking first place. Like, what are you doing? Like the 5th or 6th seed?
And they lost 5. Like they won 5 games straight, and other people lost 5.
They won 5 games straight. Correct.
5? No, it's 4 games. There's only 4. You only have to win 4 games to win the World Series.
The series was 5-0. That's what I saw. The series was 5-0.
Yeah, because
That's
if you
impossible.
won 4, you automatically would have won.
Yeah.
Look it up and correct me, Tristan. But it says Game 5, and this series was 5.
That means it was 4-1. That means it was 4-1. Because if they played 5 games, you had to
look it up. Look it up for me because I saw 5-0. But look it up and you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, the score of the game was 5-0. The Rangers won the series 4-1.
Okay, I stand corrected. Okay, so they did have their parade on.
Yeah, that's a gentleman. We call it a gentleman's sweep.
Okay. So they ended up having a parade on Friday. I had a few friends in the Dallas area who went, and one of my friends said it was giving drive-by graduation because there's a whole bunch of pickup trucks with like people on the like they didn't have any like large buses, no large posters.
No, because no one thought they were gonna fucking do it. Like you know how many times the Rangers have been really good, and we thought, oh, the Rangers about to do something. Like, I mean, I physically bet, put money on them, like really, because it's just a Rangers fan, and so like he's like, bro, it's never been their year. So the fact that this was finally it, no one can believe it. It's good, happy for the Rangers, but like you got people who didn't even know baseball existed talking about go Rangers. Really? I don't even think you knew that baseball was a thing, but that's fine.
Well, yeah, just shout out to the Rangers and Texas. Well, we love it sometimes. Sometimes we don't. So moving right on along to my next story, which I call this one Panera Better Pay Some Bread. This is actually a sad story, though. It's very unfortunate. Thank you. It comes out myself. Okay, so a 21-year-old woman with a heart condition is actually dead after consuming a heavily caffeinated energy drink. I told you it was a sad story. After consuming a heavily caffeinated energy drink at Panera Bread that she may have thought was just like a regular lemonade. which her parents allege in the lawsuit that they filed. So this actually happened last year in September 2022. So after drinking a charged lemonade, is what it's called at Panera, Sarah Katz experienced cardiac arrest while at the restaurant with friends and died shortly after being transported to the hospital, and she suffered a second cardiac arrest. So her parents filed the lawsuit this October 2023 in Philadelphia, and they're seeking compensatory and punitive damages. So in her autopsy report obtained by CNN, the medical examiner cites that Katz's cause of death was cardiac arrhythmia, which is due to long QT syndrome, which is a disorder that can cause fast and irregular heartbeats that can be life-threatening. Now, she was actually diagnosed with this at 5 years old, and she was managing her symptoms by taking certain medications and limiting caffeine. Like, she didn't drink caffeine, right? So most of the energy drinks that are out there on the market do contain large amounts of caffeine, which we know they have added sugars, maybe some vitamins and other, legal stimulants, right? Panera's charged lemonade includes sugar, caffeine, coffee extract, and I believe it's called guarana extract, which those are both sources of caffeine. So it's like 3 different types of like caffeine. That it contains.
Mm-hmm. So it's like a surge.
Exactly.
Remember that pop, that surge? No.
Pop. Soda?
No. Soda?
Pop, the carbonated beverage called surge.
I don't know what pop is. I know what soda is.
I never heard of surge either, though.
I don't know what surge is either. So Kat was reasonably confident it was a traditional lemonade and or electrolyte sports drink containing a reasonable amount of caffeine safe for her to drink, says her lawyer. Now, again, I don't know if she was able to state that she thought this or not. So these are in quotes.
How do they know that?
I know it's in
quotes.
She
is dead, right? She is dead, correct?
Correct. But in the lawsuit, they're saying that Panera, purposely misled consumers by not properly labeling the charged lemonade as an energy drink in their restaurants. So online,
what would charged lemonade mean?
So
it didn't. So she ordered. So she specifically ordered a charged lemonade.
No,
but they're alleging that. So yeah.
Yeah, let me finish reading. So online, Panera says that its charged lemonade has a comparable amount of caffeine to its dark roast coffee, right? So a large size comes in a 30-ounce cup and contains about 390 milligrams of caffeine. That's their dark roast coffee, right? The U.S. Food and Drug Administration says that a safe quantity of caffeine for healthy adults, healthy being the operative word, is about 400 milligrams. So their large dark roast coffee is like right there on the borderline of what's like the limit for consuming caffeine. So additionally, the charged lemonade is mixed in-house. So here's the thing. It's mixed in-house by store employees, meaning that the caffeine content is not always regulated the same. So some people could be putting more in there. Some people could be putting less. So there's no telling like the exact amount that was in there. And according to Elizabeth Crawford, who is the attorney for Kat's parents, Katz drank out of the large size cup because she has a Panera Sip Club membership, which means it gives like subscribers like free in-store refills. So there's no way to know how much she actually drank. Like, we don't know if she just had 1 cup of the charged lemonade or she went and refilled and drank more than what the recommended size was. But from what I'm hearing, that it wasn't labeled properly enough to let you know what all it contains, in order to know like this is caffeinated lemonade. It's not just like your regular lemonade or your extra sugary lemonade type of thing. So their lawyer told CNN, we want to make sure that the drink includes a warning or is taken off the shelf because it's a dangerous energy drink and it's not advertised that way. We want to make sure this doesn't happen to someone else. Meanwhile, Panera did provide a statement to CNN saying they're very saddened to learn about the tragic passing of Sarah Katz and that their hearts go out to her family and that they strongly believe in transparency around their ingredients and will work quickly to thoroughly investigate this matter. Questions, thoughts, opinions?
I don't think they owe them any money. I don't think.
Really?
I just don't. No, I don't.
You don't think they have a due diligence to like break down the ingredients, and so this charged lemonade? Lemonade could be misleading.
Drink, right?
But that's what I'm saying. If she already knew that it was,
they're saying she didn't know because it wasn't properly labeled. Is the argument?
But what did she think a charged lemonade was?
That's what I'm saying. What was not properly labeled? Was that name not on it? Like, was it in the wrong container?
So
Like,
apparently, it's
where?
the ingredients for the lemonade and how caffeinated it was is not being specified, because again, people are thinking charged lemonade could mean a lot of things. It can mean like extra sugar. It could mean that it has some kind of like energy boost or like caffeine related to it. There's no like specifications about what the actual contents are, so
So,
we don't really know. So
so you're saying they're alleging that the reason the base of this lawsuit is because whatever thing that she got it from that said charged lemonade, she drank it and died. Unfortunately, of course, prayers go out. But I guess I'm having a trouble because it's just like, why wouldn't you ask more questions if it was life or death like that with you and caffeine? It
so I
just
think
seems to
the
me,
yes,
I just feel like if
that's
I'm
what
allergic to pineapple, I'm gonna make sure there's not pineapple in this juice before I drink it. You know what I'm saying?
that's a good argument. I think the counter argument is, like you said, why wouldn't she ask more questions? I think the counter argument from this lawsuit is Panera to do a better job of properly labeling the contents within certain things, so there is no like mistake or mishap if someone doesn't ask more questions, type of thing. So I think that's the argument being made with this
So we're
lawsuit.
trying to protect people from themselves.
I
Okay,
kind of
all right.
I'm on the side of Tristan. I feel like if you know
Okay.
that you have a condition that's kind of life or death, it's your responsibility. And charged lemonade sounds like there's something in it that you should ask a question about if you have a life or death illness that could kill you. And then her parents don't
it's
know
not life or
what
death.
she
Oh, go ahead.
knew. Like her parents don't know if she knew it was charged lemonade or if she didn't know it was charged lemonade. Like you can't
Or
say
how
for
many she
sure
drank? What if she drank 3
knew.
cups?
Yeah, you
And
can't
that's
really
what they're
say
saying
for
with her
sure
refill subscription. They don't know like how much
how
she
many she
actually
got.
had. Yeah.
Like, I don't like cheese. I go out of my way to make sure cheese is not on anything, and I'm not gonna
That's
die if
fair.
I eat it. But I go out of my way, like,
That's
there's
fair.
cheese in this. Like,
I'm
I'll
the
take
same
it
way.
back.
I'm the same way.
It's
Well,
carrot cake. This ain't got no cheese in it, right?
Right. I ate cheesecake for the longest time, like cheese going up, not knowing
Well,
it
I'll
was gonna
blame
be
you.
like.
But I make them and I don't eat it. That's what I'm trying to tell
I
you.
love
Like,
cheesecake now though. You
I
take
still
good
don't,
cheesecake.
I still don't eat it. I make them, but I still don't eat it. No, but like,
Yeah.
that's what I'm getting at. Like, I just go out of my way to make sure I don't want it in my body. Like, I get, everybody makes a mistake. I get that. Maybe that was the day you made a mistake, but it was a cost a mistake.
Yeah, I would be curious to see how this does end up, whether or not, Panera does just offer a settlement, or if it does go to court. I am curious to see how this ends up, and just to see, I guess, who's at fault, if there really is a fault type of situation. So I would definitely keep y'all posted once I hear more from this. And I'll be moving on to my last story, which is gonna be a throwback. I hope y'all get this. If y'all don't, I don't know if we can be friends anymore. Okay, so I titled this one,
No
Zoom,
pressure.
Zoom, Zoom, and my heart
And my
go
heart go
boom,
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 my
my
supernova
supernova
girl.
girl.
Interplanetary, megastellar, hydrostatic, there's no gravity between us. Our love is automatic. Zoom,
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 and my
and my
heart
heart
goes
go boom,
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 boom.
my
supernova.
supernova girl. Come on. Shout out to Xenon. Okay.
Z3 was trash though, but Z2 was great.
It wasn't good at all. Z2 was my favorite. Like
Z2 was
Z1
everything.
was great, but Z2, like when they kicked
Z2
it up
was
another level.
everything.
Yeah. Hey Raven. Okay. So I named it that because this story, I actually just saw this today and I thought this was very interesting. So Orbital Assembly, which is a company that specializes in designing and constructing space stations. We know that was this whole space station, so that's why I named it that. They're planning to open a luxury accommodations in space in 2025.
I'm going.
Damn, that's who.
I'm going.
That's what I said, right?
I'm going.
And they said luxury. It better be luxury for the price it's gonna cost you to get there. It better not be no.
You know, it ain't gonna be much better than a cruise, but you're gonna be in space, so why not?
That's real.
Not
So
cruise level.
Voyager's.
It ain't. Come on now, it can't be that amazing. Like, it is to the public and non-astronaut folk. It'll be okay.
It's actually funny that you say that because the price is going to start off super high, but once it gets more like traction and they work out all the kinks, they said it would reduce down to like cruise line pricing. So it's so funny that you said a cruise.
A cruise in low orbit? Yeah, hell yeah.
So, Voyager Station and Pioneer Station are the two space stations that are being created, and they will be created to accommodate more than just intergalactic travelers. It would also be suitable for businesses, manufacturing, and research.
Is it intergalactic if we're just we haven't left this galaxy? Oh, it don't matter. I'm sorry. Continue.
Listen, this is what the people tell me. I just report on it, right?
Okay. All right. I just to get my hopes up. I'm talking about you get to know the galaxy. Wait.
So Voyager Station is designed to accommodate about 280 guests, though they want to update that to over 400 people once everything is said and done. The company also has recently shared designs for a smaller space station, which is the Pioneer Station, which would house significantly less people at roughly about 28, but it could be operational by 2025, so less than 2 years from now, right? The expected duration for guests could be as little as 4 days and as long as 2 weeks, depending on what you desire. It would also depend on the cost and the ability to acclimate to the space and the environment. So it would take some acclimation time, of course, because you're in space. So it's no overnight type of thing.
What's the price tag? Is it $10 million? How much?
Well, let me get there. So both stations will make use of artificial gravity, which they liken it to basically spinning water in a bucket. It's kind of like how it would feel. Yeah, about right. So because of the physics involved, both stations will end up look basically like a giant float on wheels. And there will be a docking hub in the center of it. And then you'll come off of that. You'll go into some elevators that they call
simple,
shafts.
Because that's when you start to fuck up stuff, when you start making it in all kind of shapes. Keep it simple. I like it. A square in the sky. Okay.
Yeah. So once you come up the elevators, then you'll go to the main hospitality area, which will encircle the entire structure, kind of like a tire in a wheel type of thing. So it was giving Xenon in my head when I was imagining all this.
Do you think they're going to use ex-astronauts as the staff?
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that since they're familiar with space. They can really give you tips and tricks on how to be
bring me
up
a
there.
towel. Bring me a towel.
I mean, hey, I wouldn't be opposed to
staff member to hire.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
So, the Virgin Galactic plans to launch ordinary passengers into space.
This is Richard Branson. Oh, no wonder who's doing this. That's of course.
You already know.
Of course. Okay.
So, Tristan, you asked about the price tag. So, passengers can purchase this for $450,000 per person per trip.
That's what I thought it was.
What were you thinking?
He said
$1
$1 million.
I thought it was easily going to be $5 million, $10 million, $1 million at least.
Okay.
$450,000. That's not bad. That's not terrible.
Almost
and again, like I said, once this, yeah,
but a Bugatti is 1.2. You know what I'm saying? You could put it in perspective.
And my Honda was 22.
Okay.
So what are we talking?
All I'm saying is it could be way worse. I'm just saying, I feel like that seems way more attainable than the price tag for this is $20 million. Do you remember when they told you the price tag to go to space was $20 million? This is back in 90s. This is back in
me that.
No, remember Lance Bass was trying to go to space. That he was trying to go to space a while ago.
Lance Bass from NSYNC?
Yes. This is at the turn of the 2000s. This is back when they had really just broken up. This was a story. It was a big deal. They talked about it a lot. But what held it up was the price tag. He was going through the training and everything and said, we're going to need $20 million for you to go up into space. And he wasn't getting no luxury accommodations. He was staying in with the fucking astronauts staying. So, I'm just saying, 450. When you think about it comparably, 450,000 is not really you see what I'm saying? That's decent.
Yeah, and like I said, once they get everything up and running, they hope to bring the prices down to cruise line prices, which is what $800 or $1,000 for a cruise.
They're never going to get
we're going to space $400. $400 to give me the space?
I don't know what luxury cruise line they were talking about, but you don't go from $450,000 to $1,500. That just don't work.
Norwegian, Virgin, what's the next?
If they made enough money.
How they had
Carnival, exactly.
At the Titanic, how they had them at the bottom of the boat. That's how they go at the bottom of the spaceship for $1,500.
This is gonna be Carnival's gonna
there eating caviar, and you at the bottom eating peanut butter and jelly.
But you in space though. What's up?
Oh my god!
Nah, because this is look. As soon as Carnival Cruise Line gets a space station, it's done. It's over. Everybody gonna be there. All of Florida gonna be in space.
Not all of Florida. Well, they did say they're gonna have like recreational activities like basketball games where participants can soar higher due
You
to
think you can smoke weed? You think
it's
you can
gonna
smoke
be
weed on the
Space
stage?
Jam up there. Like we're gonna be soaring through the air.
You think they're gonna
Lighters
let me
work?
smoke weed
I don't
on the
know.
space station? Oh, for
I
sure.
don't
Yeah,
know.
because you're gonna have air. You're gonna have air, not in space. Like I'm not asking you to be in your
Yeah.
EVA suit. No, but I mean, I just like
I
is there a
get
place on the
high,
space station where I
high,
can light a doobie
high. Every day I get high,
every
Maybe.
day?
high
Oh
all the
my
time.
Talk
god.
about reaching the stars. That'd be amazing. That'd be
Yeah,
fucking amazing. I
that
would
would be
really feel like Captain Kirk. That'd be
that would be
dope. So
dope.
maybe they'll only let you vape. So maybe I have to vape. It'll be
Maybe.
fun.
Okay. Yeah. So I know Tristan said he would try this. Sean, would you be willing to go? Say all expenses paid. You ain't got to come out your pocket. Would
Fuck
you?
I
yeah.
know it's a
Would
trap.
you?
All expenses paid for a $450,000 trip. They using me as a pawn. I'm not doing
Oh
that.
man.
It's giving
Maybe
Ocean Gate
all right, maybe 20 years after they started
after
doing
they
them
work out the
regularly.
kinks.
Yeah. Like that's how I feel.
Fair.
Like if
20
I was around when
years.
planes first came out, it would have took me some time too. I'd have been like, nah.
You've been a little skeptical, like
Yeah.
But see, the other school of thought is you don't want to go to where you have to really do a lot to get to your body to get into space. Because you're still gonna have to get your body ready to get into space travel. Like I
oh,
don't
so
give
you're
a
saying
fuck
20 years from
what
now, she might be a
it's
little too
still
old.
gonna that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you'll be in your 50s. Like you might be okay still, I don't know. But I just feel like we gotta go a little
And I
sooner
guess
than
I'm
that.
not
I need to
going.
go where my body
10
well,
years.
let's give it 10
20,
years, that's what I'm saying.
2035.
Yeah.
2035.
Yeah.
There had to
Yeah.
be
Because
thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that went before me. And then I'll be like, all right.
oh my god. That's
Yeah,
great.
I don't know if I would do it either because it's giving Ocean Gate to me, and I just feel
Yeah.
like I don't want
And
to
then
pay to
people just gonna
die.
be like,
I'm not gonna be in.
you're a dumbass.
I won't be on that. I won't be on like the maiden cruise, but like get like 20, 30 in. I'm in there. 20 or 30
Okay.
in. I'm in.
20,
Yeah.
oh, 20, 30 trips, not years.
20 or
trips.
30 trips. Yeah, I'm in there. I'm in there. 20 or 30 trips.
I
You
need
know.
like 2,000, 3,000 trips.
No,
Like,
because
yeah.
no, because and then there's the engineer who's gonna fix the thing. Fly with us. Like if he flies on a
better.
different. As I'm saying, if he flies on something different, then hell no. But as long as he's on my
I'm
same,
gonna be on
my
his
same
back.
scale- right?
That
we're
nigga just
good.
be
Like if he feels comfortable
I'm
enough.
not doing that.
Right. If he feels
Mm.
comfortable enough, I feel good that I could do it. So 20, 30 trips, we're good. We're good. Because they've been going to the space station for years anyway. So like I feel pretty confident because it
But
factor
they've
all
been
of those in.
training for years. We ain't trained for this.
Right. But
Yeah.
I feel pretty reasonable that if I'm at a more youthful age, you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm like 60, I might have missed the boat. But
Yeah.
like I'm 40.
But at that point, you've lived. So if you kick the bucket, it ain't as bad as you kick it at
Yeah, but I don't want to
35
be.
and
I don't want
65.
to. I don't want to take off and break my leg because the G-force was too strong. Now I'm limping around for 2 weeks in space. I'm okay. No, we
Fair
need
enough.
we got to go sooner rather than later. I think 5 years. Okay, here it is right here. Richard Bronson. He comes to us. My God, I love you guys. You're amazing. You're fucking amazing. We need you on the space station. All expenses paid. We're going to have Culture 101 podcast on the space station. You're going to broadcast live. Be the first podcast to fucking do it ever. It's amazing. All you in.
I need to get paid. I need to get guaranteed
Yeah.
sponsorships and partnerships from
I
this.
need
We
my
need
family
guaranteed
to get paid if I
exposure.
die.
Okay.
Absolutely. All of it. Wonderful.
Skydive before I might take a little trip up. We'll see. I'm not opposed to it for the greater good of the podcast.
Rich. Hook it up, baby. Hook it up, baby. Hook it up. Hook it up, baby.
I think I'm gonna get there and be
Let's
like,
go.
nah, y'all gonna have to do this without me.
You
I'm
gonna chicken
freaking out
out.
Ferris wheel. Yeah, I'm not with the shits.
I feel that.
It only works if all three of you go. All three of you must go.
Sean gonna be like, sorry to y'all.
Yes, y'all need to
fucking do
replace
this,
me.
man. You gotta go. You gotta go.
We're gonna have to date Sean.
We might have to be like the A-team.
I wake up in space, I'm
Oh
really
my
gonna die. What are y'all talking about?
Oh, let's
She gonna whoop us if she wake up in space.
They're gonna need to make a
Okay,
two-year
before we get
movie
up
about
out of
that.
here, I gotta ask this question. So Taylor asked me this the other day because
Okay.
I was talking about how we just don't know so much about the ocean. Okay, so they tell you we're going. Okay, yeah. So what are you more likely to do? Are you more likely to spend a year in space or like a night at the bottom of the sea?
But how do we spend a night at the bottom of the sea? Are we like
They have it. They're
or
supposed
just a suit on, or with the breathing machine? Like, how do we do that?
some type of sea elevator.
But are we like just out there? Or are we like encapsulated in something to where we have a protective barrier between
You
us?
have to have a protective barrier. The water will crush you.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Ocean. One night is so much more.
The whole
so maybe
thing
I'll just let it go. I could do one night over 1 year. But I went deep sea diving before, and I was scared of shit. So, and I feel like I only went 30 or 40 feet down, and I was freaking the fuck out. So
that's my thing, because it's like it's the unknown in the ocean and how it's dark, and so it's like, yes, you would take one night over 1 year, but at the same time, it's like it's so much unknown in the ocean.
It's proven, you can call your people. Like, people go all the time, spend a year, 2 years in space. That happens all the fucking time.
I would probably get lonely though in the head for a year. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm out there by myself.
You're not by yourself.
Okay.
You weren't by yourself in this scenario.
Can I take a whole bunch of books and like have my
take whatever you want? Take a Kindle. What you mean? It's a Kindle. What are you talking about? Take your phone. It's all there.
Maybe I would choose space, because I just feel like there's so much unknown and known in the ocean that I don't know. I'll probably freak out. I might take a chance to see some aliens. Be like, hey y'all, how y'all party? How y'all living up here? Let me see y'all world.
No, I agree with you. For sure, space over the water, because the water, all that weight in the water, like, I just don't, like, even if you tell me we got something that's gonna hold it, one puncture, we'd fucked up. And now the Loch Ness monster is snacking on me. And
that freaks me out just thinking about it. Yeah.
Because where do all the dragons go? Underwater. That's where they all are.
There's so much in the water that we don't know. On top
That's
of
what I'm saying. And it's our planet, and we don't know it. We fucking live here, and we don't know. That's wild to me. Like, that is insane. Like, you got all this stuff that we're made of, that we can't drink, that is just hiding all these things.
Yeah.
So that's why I always wondered, like, what is it? Is it space I'm more afraid of, or the deep sea? I think it's the ocean.
That's real. That's real.
That's real.
I think so too. But that's all I have for y'all. So I will keep my ears to the street and report back next week. Hey y'all, it's your girl Les, stopping by to let you know we have new merch dropping. Check it all out at culture101podcast.com.
And now for part 2 of Access Granted, where we spoke with Justin Parsons, Equity and Inclusion Coordinator for the City of Austin's Department of Economic Development. Enjoy.
You gave us a lot of information on where we can find these grants, and you also talked about the grading rubric that they look for. But what are the components that they specifically look for in this grant application process? Like, do we need to have a business plan? Do we need, like, what are things that we need to have prepared to apply for these grants?
Like, will you need an LLC, perhaps? Because I know a lot of that's a barrier for a lot of grants.
Do I need a virtual address? Do I need a PO box? Like, what do I need?
I think it has to be a very, like, a clear vision, and also like a clear, where is this money going, right? Both vision wise and also like physically, right? Like, you talk about like having like an address, things like that. Who make it very clear, because one thing that things get held up on, like, I don't like to play about people's money. I don't know how y'all are, but I don't play about people's money. So
nah, we don't play with people's money.
Yeah, right. Like, once there is you've been selected, right? Like, make that thing easy of like, hey, this is where it's gonna lay out. A big thing is like that budget, right? Like, where is it going? How are you gonna break this down? What does this look like? As opposed to just saying, hey, we need this money, right? I think that's what hurts a lot of people. A lot of people will skip out on laying out a detailed budget. So it's just like, hey, I'm applying for this $20,000. All right, cool. What are you gonna do with it? I'll figure that out when I get it, right? Nah, like, lay them lines out there of like, hey, this is going towards inventory. This is going towards payroll. This is going towards like advertising, marketing, things like that.
Does it need to be crazy specific? Like the more specificity, the better?
I would say the more specificity, the better. But I also wouldn't kill myself on going super detailed, right? As long as you know which buckets you're going to put it in, right? Like, I know that I need X amount to market, and you can explain it, right? That's the other part, right? A big part of writing these grants is being able to paint a picture with your words, if that makes sense, right? Because unfortunately, again, there may be that disconnect, whether culturally or age or whatever it may be. So being able to paint the picture clearly as to, hey, we're trying to achieve X goal by doing these avenues or doing this, and being able to put your money, know where you want to put your money, right? So I say that to say, like a full out business plan, I feel like would be kind of over the top. But you gotta have your details. You gotta just make sure you got everything in order. Like a business plan, I feel like again falls into that loan area, right? Like they need
so you
to
might
know.
not need that far, but a
Yeah,
little less.
you don't gotta
Like a
go
little.
that far, but you gotta still know what you're doing. You can't just roll up and say, "Hey, look, I'm trying to get this money, blah blah, whatever."
For XYZ, yeah.
Yeah.
So as long as they know where the funds are being allocated, that's all. It's not like I need to have a return on investment plan and all that stuff.
No.
That's just for the loan.
Now, that goes more into like loans again. How are you gonna get this money back? Because with a grant, really, people are like giving you the money because they believe in whatever it is you're doing, right?
Okay.
If you can paint the picture of how you're creating a positive impact, right? Like again, the importance of this podcast to whether it's bringing people on to talk about financial literacy or talking about grants or whatever it may be, is casting a wide net to help people, right? So that's all you got to do. Like I think this is like grants are driven more by impact, whereas loans are driven maybe
finances. Yeah.
So do you
small
think
business.
that there are certain businesses that are more likely to get grants than others? So let's say we have a cleaning business that's more likely than a podcast business, or like, how do you feel that works in that aspect in terms of what type of business you're applying for a grant for?
I wouldn't say that one is more likely than the other. It may be
Okay.
you gotta find kind of like the right avenue, right, or the right grant for you, right? I wouldn't like a cleaning business. I wouldn't recommend that they apply for like a cultural arts grant, right? Like not particularly art, right? But that would fall more in line with like a podcast, right? But when it comes to like small business, I would say throw your name in the hat. Like I don't think that there's particularly one thing that stands out more than the other. Again, I think it's about how you convey it, right? Like it's really big on painting the picture for other people. I hate to keep saying that over and over, but I think that it comes down to having people buy into whatever your vision is, right? Nah, if you got to prove, like, you got an idea in your business and you're trying to do something, and I don't think it will hold you back regardless of whatever it is.
So do you think that you have to wait until your business is in a certain stage for you to apply? Like, let's say I just started my business. It's a really new business and I'm a little intimidated to apply for funding because I don't feel like I have grown enough income for me to ask other people for money. Like, do you think there's a time where, it's a little too soon? You should wait. You should build up your business.
No, I mean, the money's there. Like, you need to use the money, right? Like, at the end of
You
the
need
day,
the money.
yeah, right. Like, I don't think you should be deterred from wherever point you are in your business. I do think again, if you have that track record, if you have something where you've been kind of chipping away at it, right? Like even if you haven't started you're just now starting your business, say you got like a juice bar, right? But you've been selling lemonade in your neighborhood since you were like a kid, right? Like showing that you didn't just wake up one day and say, you know what, let me like try to do this, right? And I think that's one thing that like holds a lot of people back is the fact that we may just like catch something, right? Like whatever's trendy at the time is like whether it's I got a fraternity brother of mine who has a clothing line, right? And he's the first person I knew that started their own clothing line. Then after that, like I've seen everybody starting a clothing line, right? At what point are we oversaturating it? You know what I mean? So like being able to set yourself apart from everybody else, right?
From everybody.
I'm not knocking anybody who has a clothing line. Hey, you gotta go do it, but also make sure that you are setting yourself apart, and that you're highlighting kind of what you've done to build this up to this point, right? To show that you're committed to it, as opposed to just kind of like flying by the seat of your pants.
Yeah, because they can
No,
say the same
that's
for
real.
podcasts and how the market is oversaturated with podcasts. But like you said, it's
Yeah.
how you differentiate yourself and set yourself apart from other podcasts that are out there.
And like in the podcast
No.
space, it's like consistency and like what you're doing.
Content, yeah.
Yeah, you know, like so many podcasts is oversaturated, but so many podcasts fall off, right? And that
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And some we don't need to hear from again. All right, so Justin, you mentioned that you don't like to play with people's money, and I know it does vary depending on the grant and everything you apply for. But speaking specifically from like your experience with the grants that you handle, how long does it typically take to receive grant funds? What's that time frame look like once people are approved for said grant?
Yeah, so you look at like your grant application being open for a couple months. The thing closes. There's a pretty quick turnaround, at least from what I've experienced. Is a pretty quick turnaround with the review. So I would say like if the grant closes, what's the day? Oh, perfect. Like if it closes on the 31st of October, then I would say like by the end of November.
Oh,
yeah, it's again like it closes, immediately goes into grant review,
and then it's directly deposited into my account.
Yeah, it should go into your account. You know.
Oh wow, it really does go into the account. I was just
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know how it's sent out. I'm pretty sure they do like deposits, but
nobody want no check. Put that in my account.
yeah,
right.
you know, the checks get lost in the mail, and
Okay,
right.
You know, especially
That
around
can
this
take a
time
couple
of the year,
weeks.
holiday season.
Listen, Giselle me, Giselle.
Does it require a specific account?
So
Like a business account?
it would. So you'd have like whoever your, I guess, like your grant, like the designated person is. I think it would look better if it goes into like maybe like your business account, right? I don't think it necessarily has to, as long as it's kind of again shown, right? Like shown the correlation between who's getting this money and how they are tied to this business or because again, we do offer outside of like small business grants, we do grants for like artists, right? So it goes to individuals. So you know that.
Do they give priority to people performing at South by Southwest? They're like, I'm gonna be at South by Southwest.
They
So
like
I'm
actual artists.
I'm gonna need this grant money.
Are y'all performing at South by Southwest?
I mean, if you hook us up,
Listen, who you know in the city?
I can find somebody and send y'all a name for y'all to reach out to. I don't know.
Listen, we'll
look,
talk.
that's all I need. That's all I need, man.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll
go,
talk.
Y'all go there and kill that.
But while we're still talking about grants and funding, are grants taxable income?
They are. So they are taxable income.
Okay.
But you know, I don't really know how to expound upon that. I mean, it is.
Well, is the rate of tax like based upon like how you receive the money? Like if I received it like for like my LLC, is it taxed at that rate as opposed to like I'm taxed at an individual at like at 27% or like where?
I'm not gonna lie to you, that I do not know. I'll be honest, I do not know what rate it's at, but I do know it's taxable.
So basically, with your grant money, invest in a good CPA to handle all your tax needs, so you don't get caught up.
Fair enough.
IRS. Okay, you want to
put that under the expenses of the grant. That should be on the expenses.
Exactly.
Right on there.
Don't get caught up. Okay, so what are some of the common mistakes you've seen specifically on the grants that you've reviewed?
The ones I've looked at again has been people not putting enough detail, right? People kind of just. I personally have seen some grants that I really like. I really be like, this is a dope idea. This is a dope business, or this is like connecting with people, right? Like this is hitting those communities in which are often overlooked, right? Like all of that, but. That came from me like having like a cultural connection, right? Like when I read the application, you could tell that somebody didn't put time into it, right? Like I mentioned this before, I'm a horrible writer, right? Like I like numbers. I don't do like writing, but you can tell when somebody is well thought out in what they're trying to do, or they take the time to try to put information in it, or they're trying to sell you on what it is they're doing, versus when somebody's just like, oh, I'll just type 2 sentences, right?
Right.
So I think those are the big things. But yeah, I think the other thing is that some of these like bigger corporations who have gotten this money in the past, or like there is more disposable income for like, I know we're talking about small business, but some of them like medium to larger size businesses, is that they have like people dedicated to writing grants, right? Like the biggest thing that I think that we run into, one from small business, two from like minority businesses, is not having someone dedicated to take that time, because grant writing is like extensive, right?
Tedious.
Yeah, it's very
TTS.
tedious, right? And if you don't have like, one, the time to sit down and do it, and two, like the experience with it, it can be a daunting task. So that I think is two of the things that have kind of like jumped out to me as like, you could tell when somebody just doesn't put effort in. Like I don't think you have to be like a grant writer, but like put effort into this, right? One thing from my position, trying to be equitable across the board and understanding that like for a lot of minorities, for us, like we may not know how to write grants, right? So we're looking at like putting in videos, right? Where you got 2 minutes to sell us on it in video form, right? To kind of alleviate those barriers, because like I said, that grant writing is a monster.
Well, hold on. Let me just add to that what you said there. So you were talking about like now you may add a virtual portion to it to add video to it. But have there ever been any applications where you were like, damn, they're close. Can we contact them and get them to add more? Or does that happen? Or
There have been, so once you submit it, we don't reach back out to you. I will say that there have been, again, you can watch the stream of those reviews. There have been very extensive, sometimes heated discussions about kind of wanting somebody to, like somebody saying like, hey, like this is what they're trying to say. The thing is, it's hard whenever you don't have it, you got the parameters and the guidelines. If you're not checking that rubric off, then it's hard for somebody to kind of convey for the rest of the panel what it is you're trying to do. You know what I mean? Like we could all four be in agreement about like this is clutch, this is dope. Like we want to give this person money. If you got that one person who's like, well, it don't reach this rubric, right?
damn.
If they can make their case, it's like ain't too much I can do for you. So, but again, another thing I would look at, and I don't know how often this is available like elsewhere, but I know that the city of Austin does like virtual office hours. So like as the application is open, it's twice a week. You can hop in, ask any questions, have people review what you're writing so they can give you feedback and things like that. So
before you submit,
what's that?
Before you submit it?
Mm-hmm.
That's dope.
That's dope.
Is that just in
dope.
Austin? Because my next question was gonna be like, does anybody ever come in person? But I guess this is the in person. This is what helps you out.
So it's virtual. I mean, since I've been here, it's virtual, which is again.
That's nice.
That's probably better.
I don't know if anybody else does that, but I think that's something that makes Austin.
It's funny because I was actually going to suggest that you could start like a consultation business on the side, like consulting people on how to like write grants and what y'all look for in grant writing. But I mean, y'all have that. So, I mean, that's pretty dope though. I didn't know that was a thing.
And the thing is, I'll keep it a band with y'all. Like the thing is, there has to be like a level of accountability, right? Like what ends up happening, I was the same way when I was in school, is like you have these office hours, you have a month and a half, 2 months to kind of get this in order. You wait till like the night before and it's like, all right, I got to type this joint out. Right? And that's what happens with a lot of people. A lot of people wait till the last minute and be like, hey, let me just throw something together. Like the resources are there, right? Like if you take nothing else from me in this conversation we have, understand that like the money is there. Once you're aware of it, like do whatever you need. There's people there to help along the way because we want to give this money to people who need it.
Hey y'all, it's your girl, Shawn the Don, and I'm here to tell y'all that we now have merch. Up Live. You can find some t-shirts, you can find puzzles, you can find candles, whatever you want, we got it. Come check us out at culture101podcast.com.
No, I feel that. So can y'all tell if people are using Chat GPT? Do y'all have some type of like do you have some type of technology that can like scan these applications to see if there was like any that type of assistance? Do y'all care if people are using?
I don't think they care. I really don't.
I'm just curious because AI is big conversation right now. So.
One, I can't tell if somebody does. I don't necessarily think that it makes a difference, right? Like at the end of the day, you could have Chat GPT write something up for you, but I think as a business owner, as an artist, whatever you may be, that thing's got to be personal to you. You know what I mean? So like, they gonna give you that generic response, right? Or they gonna answer the question, and it's cool. Like if I needed a grade for like a midterm paper, I might do it. But this is supposed to be personal to you, and only you can like sell that 100% fully. So.
Right. Now that makes sense. So pretty much what I've taken away from this conversation is in order to be a great grant writer or compose your thoughts well enough for grant writing, you need to be able to convey like what your story is and how your business impacts, X, Y, and Z, and also being able to show what you will use said funds for and be able to like lay that out to where it makes sense. Correct?
Yeah. Just having a clear vision, understanding what you're trying to do, who you're trying to do it for, and how you're gonna do it, right? With that budget, right? Like if I gotta rank the things that you need in terms of writing grants, I would say make sure that budget is in order first, right? And then that you tell your story. I think it comes a little bit easier to tell your story because it's what you do daily, right? Like going back to again this podcast, y'all done sat down at least 60 times, at least, right? So like
right,
being able to tell
one or
people
two
what
more.
you're doing is easy.
I've got some bonus episodes. Right. Yeah. No, definitely. And I think that like we're just now starting to really step into this grant writing space. Sean has done a great job of like finding us some amazing grants to apply to. And the last one she applied to, we had to do like a 2-minute video. And it's so weird. Like we do this podcast, twice a week now, right? But having to like talk for 2 minutes on a video about like why you need this funding was just so weird and awkward, and trying to like find the right words and stuff like that. Like I'm more of a writer where, okay, if I can write it down, then I can edit it, make it make sense. But like put me on the spot like that, I'm like, I don't know. Give us money, please. Exactly.
Talking to somebody too is like I did a in my old job, I did a presentation, and it was like a virtual conference. And I had to talk into a Zoom camera for like an hour. And I was like, this is awful. Like no response or anything like that. And I was like, this is cool.
You love a little call, like people love a little call and response. Like you need that.
Engage.
You need to see some engagement,
nonverbal, right? Like if you talking to somebody, like, that's all you need. Like that's all I need.
Head nod,
Nah, that's real. I'm good for a head nod.
I would definitely say like, although it can probably be frustrating at times, writing like grant writing and applying and finding these grants, like it definitely is worth it. Just don't get frustrated, don't get discouraged from doing what you need to do.
Yeah, I agree. So we know that Black entrepreneurs are 3 times more likely than white entrepreneurs to cite a lack of access to capital negatively.
Come on, stats.
I love me a good stat. A lack of access to capital negatively impacting their business's profitability, and Black businesses are also more likely to struggle with debt. So these problems can be traced back to the racial wealth gap and a lack of helpful relationships in the business community. So besides providing grants, what more do you think the government can and should do to combat this? And I understand this is like a loaded question. This can go a lot of ways, but just like in your opinion.
To combat the wealth gap?
Yes.
Oh man, I ain't trying to serious us out. Like
if you got something on your heart, let it off. This is what this space is for. Live your life.
I ain't trying to like have y'all listeners annoyed. I had this conversation with somebody the other day. When we look at what the government does to try to correct the wrongs, right? Like it at times it doesn't feel like that's the thing. Like I think you said reparations, right?
I
He
perhaps
did.
said that.
That's what it comes down to, right? Like at the end of the day, you gotta. Other groups have gotten reparations, right, and like rightfully so. Why have Black people not gotten reparations? That's one. Secondly, I think it goes into a whole like the psychology of like how we're socialized and like anti-Blackness and things like that. Because even if you give us money, right, even if you correct all the wrongs that have happened, and I ain't even mean to go down this road with y'all, bro. Like I apologize.
No, we're here. This is for
Let's
the culture.
walk it.
Do it.
Snake is there
Do it.
now.
Even
Let 'em
even
use
if
you.
even if I struggle because like even if we are financially given everything we need to be given, right? There still is the aspect of like the historical context, right? We can't know where we're going without knowing. Anytime
Absolutely.
we've seen like successful Black communities, right? Like how have those ended up? How Tulsa ended up? How Wilmington
Burned to the ground.
right?
Okay.
Like, things like that. So like again, I don't think that even working for the government, I don't think things have been shown that would make us think that they would end otherwise, right? Like it might seem like a wild concept, but one, we've seen things go down like that. Two, the socialization and how just like Black and brown people are viewed, right? Like even if you have wealth and money and things like that, any majority minority community is going to have a stigma on it, right? Like they're going to look at us like, what's going on over there type deal. So I don't know. I went on a tangent like that. That annoys me a lot, and I give it a lot of thought. And to answer your question, I don't particularly know what else the government could do. Right? I think that reparations is a start. I think that reparations and acknowledge that you're not done right by Black people in this country, right? Like, yeah.
Until you do right by us. What I say.
That might be the most popular line ever on the show. That might be. Until you do right by me.
All right. Well, I think this has been an amazing conversation. I definitely appreciate you coming on just to share your wealth of knowledge when it comes to grants, because again, like you said, a lot of people within our community just don't know that this money is out there. They don't know how to access it. So I appreciate you coming on to like just give a little insight into that. Cause look, we're trying to put our Black people on. That's what our podcast is for. So
yeah, and not just on it, right? Like I just realized there's money out there. So I'm trying to tell 3 people.
Well, no.
Each one teach one. There you go.
Absolutely. Well, again, brother, thank you so much for stopping by and dropping these gems. These are some heavy gems. Hold on to them now. It's important. Okay. But before you get out of here,
where the money resides.
Where the money
resides.
Before you get out of here, brother, are there any other programs or things that Black people should be aware of? I mean, folks in general, of course, but we want to help our own first.
No, you said it right, Black people.
That we should be aware of going forward, just in the immediate, like right now.
I don't have any like right now. Just say stay tuned, like get involved, man. This local government thing is like there's so many decisions made that like could directly impact us or just any resident of the city or town that like is done without pushback, right? Without any type of force or resistance. So that would be my thing. Hey, like go get involved, council, commission, whatever it is in your city.
Yeah, we got to keep an eye on Abbott. What he up to? So.
Yeah, I was about to say shout out Gregory, but that's not one.
Do not shout out Gregory.
He don't need one.
Gregory.
He don't need a shout out.
Okay.
Well, all right, brother. We appreciate you much. Thank you again for stopping by, and we can't let you leave, of course, without giving you a little bit of.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I'm a fan of what y'all do, so.
Appreciate you.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Well, we'll have to bring you back to talk sports with Tristan because he be wanting sports, buddy. We give him a little here and there, but not enough. So
I gotta back Tristan up on a lot of things.
Oh gosh, maybe we don't need to.
I appreciate that, bro.
One Tristan is enough.
We might have to do a little side situation.
Oh my goodness, one is enough.
We're gonna call it 2-syllable sports. Tristan, Justin, it powers unite. It's gonna be dope.
2-syllable sports.
I love
that.
it. I
That's
love
actually
it.
kind of cute. Yeah.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a quick break and we'll be right back.
All right, guys, we are back. And you know what it is. It's time to do it for the coach. Do it for the coach. Do it. Chime down.
I like that we all just started doing this little do it for the culture dance. Like over time, everybody just starts to do it. But this week, this is a personal home favorite. It means not dearly to all of us. My do it for the culture shout out is to Howard University. So HU.
Hey, you know.
All right. So Howard, of course, made history again because that's what we do.
That's what we do. What you expect?
History has been made at Howard as several students have come together to form a figure skating team.
Aww.
The first of its kind at an HBCU. So no other HBCUs out of all 106, 102, something like that.
Of course, we're the first and the only.
The first and the only to do it, and watch all the rest of them come after us. So
what they say it's lonely at the top.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you don't respond from the throne.
You're right.
But other HBCUs are getting into it as well because their first competition is against Delaware State University, which is slated for February 2024. So that will be their first competition.
No, I'm saying I knew some when I was back in undergrad, so I'm curious to see how they would would they have joined the team. Actually, the person I'm thinking of was a Bisonette and was a figure skater, and I was just like, damn. I was like, would she have Bisonetted if she could have figure skated?
If she could have figure skated,
it just makes you wonder.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just
It's
wondering.
interesting that you say that you know somebody who figure skated in college because only 2% of figure skating fans overall are African American. And it's even less of actual figure skaters. There have only been a few Black figure skaters to even qualify or even compete in the Olympics. So it's a sport that's not really known in the Black community. It's not really practiced a lot. I don't know if it's because like access to skating rinks, like people just don't really have skating rinks around.
It's an expensive sport too, huh?
It's expensive too. That's the other part. Like it's like gymnastics or something like that. Like the bar is first off you gotta have skates, and then you gotta get rink time. You gotta
coaching,
coaching, and then the costumes. Yeah, the costumes are very expensive too.
And entering competitions, you pay for that, right?
It's like gymnastics. Like it's almost just as expensive, if not more.
Yeah. So the two co-founders of the team are junior psychology major Maya James and senior political science major Cheyenne Walker. They both began skating when they were 7 years old. And their love for skating continued on, and they wanted to do it at a college level. So they decided to bring it to Howard University. The team partners with Diversify ICE, which is a nonprofit organization that's dedicated to helping minorities find successful careers in figure skating and to provide the team with Black coaches and ice time. So, and they do their practice in Maryland at Garden Ice House or the Herbert Wells Ice Rink. So if you are trying to find somewhere to go ice skating, I've never been. I never even heard of those two. I just wanted to give them a shout out. If you are looking for somewhere to go ice skating at,
you can. I like to skate. It don't matter what type of skating. It's a good time. It's honestly the most freeing form of skating because like it can be difficult, but once you get it, like you can do anything on skates.
One of the co-founders was quoted saying, "Our entire team is really invested in this. It's a historical opportunity, but also an opportunity to break barriers and to get a brand new team up and running out of a lot of challenges." So shout out to Howard University. Shout out to those students who decided to create the ice skating team at Howard University. I know that they're going to do great things. And the first of its kind at HBCU. I'm so happy for them. I might even participate in some of their little events. They got to be better than the rest of our sports teams. So shout out to them ladies.
Shout out to y'all.
Shout out to the ladies for figure skating. So now, is it only a female team right now, or do they have a men's figure skating?
It's men involved too. It's like a mixture of people at different levels as well. You don't have to be like, an experienced expert type of level. You can be, yeah. They made it very inclusive, which I love that.
Okay. Interesting.
I think figure skating.
Maybe I would have figure skated back in the day.
Pop up on them.
I just might. I got some eligibility. I didn't play a sport there. I could go back and skate. They need somebody? I'll have you.
They got room for one alumni to join.
Figure skate.
I mean, look, if they're going to pay for me to do it, fuck yeah, I'll go do it. Why not? I'll fuck around and get a master's. Why not? So if they're going to pay for me to figure skate, I can skate. So, like, you got to come fuck with me.
Oh, yeah. Say that. Say
on that. Right.
Oh, man. Tell me why, like, when you were describing this, like, this ICE initiative with the ICE inclusion, what's it called?
Diversify
ICE.
That's the name of the nonprofit.
Right.
So two things. One, I thought that was like the premise for Cool Runnings. I was like, wow, this is Cool Runnings right here. This is great. And then two, I was like, damn, that don't sound like the government trying to diversify all the kids they're going to lock up. Wow, that's crazy. They need a different name.
Yikes.
They need
not diversify
ICE.
I am right. On that note,
that's what you should say.
Done with the story. Great job, Howard. Woo.
Oh man, shout out to Diversify ICE and Howard and all the wonderful folks there. Shout out to Maya James and Cheyenne Walker. Love y'all getting that ice skating together, figure skating at Howard. That is really crazy though. Like it was now to be on the cutting edge. So
I agree.
Makes you proud to be a bison.
Always.
But guys, we're gonna take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Hey guys, it's your boy Tris, and guess what? We got new merch. That's right, new merch. Come check it out. Culture101podcast.com. Stay tuned, stay locked in.
All right. Welcome back, guys. But it is that time where we sign off and we say sayonara, so long, farewell. But we'll be back. I promise you we'll be back, of course.
Are you singing Out of the Box?
I think about that every time he says it, because he says it every time.
You know what's funny? I never think about Out of the Box. I could not stand that program. It was literally my least favorite programs.
Out of the box.
Why were we even in a box in the fucking first place? Why were we even in this box?
They were so precious.
Yeah.
I could do that already. I didn't need pseudo AJ to tell me that.
Tristan, you're above everything. Like what? Let the kids have something. We needed something back in the day, and that was
there were other programs that I liked more. That was all. It just wasn't the one I liked. It was okay. Look, I didn't come at anybody watching it. I just felt like there were other better programs. You know,
but you was clearly singing the song. We heard you.
No, I wasn't. That was not. I just was saying goodbye in a few different ways. But that's not important. What is important is that these people go out here and they subscribe, and check us out on all the platforms: Spotify, Apple, YouTube. And if they were trying to reach out and get in touch with us, like they wanted to reach out, how would they do that? How would they reach out? How would they do
that? That was creepy as hell.
How would they do it?
I'm sorry. You can email us at contact@culture101podcast.com. Or if you want to jump over to our website, it's culture101podcast.com, and you can scroll all the way down the first page, drop us a listener letter where we'll read it out loud on the show. Just let us know if you want to be anonymous or not.
Don't be anonymous. Stay with your chest.
Your name.
If they wanted to know where merch was and not be anonymous and buy that shit with their chest, where could they do that? Where can they do that shit?
So you know that they can find the merch. And let me tell y'all what we got. We got mugs. We got pens. We got t-shirts. We got hoodies. We got whatever you're looking for. We got it.
On bikinis. That's right.
No, I did not make those.
Okay,
we're search on the site. Just keep looking. If you're looking for that thong bikini,
y'all comment and want them, I will make them.
Yeah, we can make some. I put my face on a thong bikini just for y'all. Come by.
That's right. All right.
Merch at culture101podcast.com/shop. If you're looking for it, we got it.
I mean, Sean get more fan mail than we do, so shit, why not? Put your face on it. Go right ahead. Right ahead. Oh my God. Well, all right, y'all. Until the next time, I've been Tris.
It's your girl Liz.
And I'm Sean the Don.
And even though the ice may change, the vibe remains the same. We out, y'all.